Tonight, as you settle into the soft quiet of your room, the universe outside is doing what it has always done, moving, expanding, breathing in its own timeless rhythm. Far beyond the walls around you, past the faint glow of distant city lights, the Milky Way stretches like a river painted across the night. It has existed for billions of years, long before the first human looked up in wonder, long before the first spark of thought illuminated a curious mind. And yet, even after all this time, the galaxy continues to whisper stories. Stories carried in starlight, dust, gravity, and silence. If you close your eyes for a moment, imagine yourself drifting upward, slowly rising above your bed, above your house, above your street. The world shrinks gently beneath you as the sky opens wider. You pass the clouds, then the thin blue veil of Earth's atmosphere, leaving behind the familiar warmth of home. There is no rush here. Everything moves at a pace that feels almost eternal. You begin to float just above Earth. The planet rotates silently, wrapped in swirling white clouds. Continents appear and fade underneath the shifting shadow of night. Lights from cities glimmer softly like clusters of stars fallen to the surface. From this height, borders disappear, languages disappear, even noise disappears. Only Earth remains, quiet, patient, turning steadily in the black velvet of space. As you drift farther outward, the sun comes into view. A shining sphere of fire, yet from this distance it looks peaceful. A warm, golden heartbeat in the dark. Its light takes just over 8 minutes to reach Earth, crossing 150 million kilometers of emptiness. That means the sunlight touching your skin during the day began its journey long before you even stepped outside. It's almost like a message from the past, gentle, steady, and ancient. Now imagine yourself drifting past the moon. Its grey, silent surface is scarred with craters, the marks of billions of years of cosmic history. The moon has no wind, no rain, no sound, only stillness. If you stand on its surface, the Earth would hang in the sky like a glowing blue marble. That sight alone has humbled astronauts, reminding them how small and fragile life truly is. Continue moving outward, beyond the moon's orbit, into the calm darkness between worlds. Here, everything feels slower. Time doesn't seem to hurry, it almost stretches, and deep in this quiet, you reach the planets one by one. First comes Mars, its surface dusted with iron oxide, giving it the color of rust. Scientists believe it once had rivers, lakes, and maybe even oceans. Today, it sleeps beneath a thin atmosphere, waiting for future explorers to awaken its dusty deserts with new stories. Beyond Mars lies the giant of our solar system, Jupiter, a beautiful swirling world of storms. The Great Red Spot is a hurricane 3 times the size of Earth, spinning endlessly for centuries. But from far away, Jupiter looks like a marble floating in darkness, softly banded with shades of white, orange, and brown. There is nothing aggressive or loud about it here, only silent, powerful motion. Next comes Saturn, dressed in rings made of ice, dust, and ancient fragments of moons. If you float near its rings, they wouldn't appear as a solid ribbon. Instead, you'd see countless pieces, some tiny as grains of sand, others as large as mountains, all gently orbiting the planet in a cosmic dance older than human memory. As you move past Uranus and Neptune, the farthest giants, their blue hues shimmer faintly. Beyond them lies the edge of our solar system, a boundary called the heliopause, where the solar wind grows weak and the true darkness begins. Beyond that boundary, you are no longer in the neighborhood of the sun. You are stepping into the vast ocean between stars. Here, distances become unimaginable. If the solar system were the size of a coin, the next nearest star, Proxima Centauri, would be several meters away, a long stretch of empty space filled with drifting dust, ancient radiation, and quiet energy. And yet, even the emptiness holds beauty. Invisible magnetic fields twist like cosmic threads. Particles older than Earth drift endlessly. Light from distant stars travels for hundreds, thousands, even millions of years before reaching your eyes. You are now entering the Milky Way itself, the great spiral that holds nearly 400 billion stars. From outside, it would look like a glowing pinwheel floating in darkness, its arms slowly rotating around a bright, dense center. But you are inside it, moving gently through a soft fog of starlight. Every point of light around you is a sun. Some are larger than imagination. Some are smaller and cooler. Some have planets. Some are lonely. Some are already dead, their final light still traveling through space long after their fire has gone out. As you drift between these stars, you come across nebulae, vast clouds of gas and dust. Some glow in soft reds, blues, and purples. Others appear as dark silhouettes blocking the light behind them. A nebula is like a cosmic womb, a place where new stars are born. It's peaceful, quiet, and full of slow, swirling motion, like ink drifting in water. Imagine moving through one of these nebulae. The colors fade gently from pink to violet. Dust floats like soft mist. Stars glimmer behind layers of translucent gas. There is no sound here, only the illusion of gentle drifting. As you continue deeper into the galaxy, you pass clusters of stars, hundreds of them packed into tight spheres, orbiting the galaxy like fireflies in the night. These clusters are incredibly old, almost as old as the Milky Way itself. They have witnessed supernovae, collisions, collapses, and rebirths. They are ancient libraries of starlight. Now imagine approaching the center of the Milky Way, where stars grow denser. Their light blends together, forming a golden glow. And hidden behind this glowing veil is something enormous, a supermassive black hole called Sagittarius A. It is 4 million times the mass of the Sun. Even though it cannot be seen directly, its presence bends light and space itself, shaping the orbits of nearby stars like a conductor guiding a cosmic orchestra. But even this colossal force is quiet. It does not roar, it does not glow. It simply waits, pulling gently on the universe around it. And through all of this, you drift in silence, calm, weightless, unhurried. The universe is not a noisy place. It is slow, ancient, and profoundly peaceful. And as you float there, surrounded by stars, you realize that the same atoms that shape nebulae and galaxies also exist within you. You are made of stardust, literally, physically, beautifully. The iron in your blood was formed in the heart of ancient stars that exploded long before Earth even existed. You are, in a quiet and wonderful way, part of the universe remembering itself. The galaxy stretches endlessly around you. Light glows softly like distant lanterns, and you drift deeper and deeper into a calm that has existed since time began. As you continue drifting through the quiet heart of the galaxy, the concept of distance begins to change. On Earth, distance is something you measure in kilometers, in miles, in the time it takes to walk or drive. But here, distance becomes something softer, something almost abstract. Stars that appear close together may actually be light years apart, and light years themselves, units of distance made from time, begin to feel natural, almost comforting. You move through these ancient corridors of starlight, enveloped in a calm darkness that carries no threat. Space is cold, yes, but not unwelcoming. It is simply vast, peaceful, unhurried. The stars flicker gently, like candles burning in rooms you'll never enter, yet their presence is reassuring. They've been glowing for millions or even billions of years and will continue to glow long after you and I are gone. You drift near a small red dwarf star. It is dim compared to the sun, its light soft and warm like the glow of an ember. Most of the stars in the Milky Way are like this, quiet, faint, long-lived. Some will burn for trillions of years, far longer than the current age of the universe. If life ever finds a place to grow around them, it would have more time than any Earth-like planet could dream of. The star has planets, dark, cold worlds, orbiting patiently, waiting for nothing in particular. You pass them without stopping, following a gentle current of invisible gravitational tides deeper into the galaxy's spiral arm. Here, stars are scattered like diamonds thrown across black velvet. The silence is deep but not empty. It's the kind of silence that feels alive. As you move farther, you encounter a dying star, one near the end of its brilliant life. It swells outward, glowing red, its outer layers trembling like a candle flame in slow motion. This red giant has lived a long and fiery life, fusing hydrogen into helium, helium into heavier elements. Now its core is shrinking while its surface expands, making it hundreds of times larger than it once was. But there is no violence here, not yet. Just a gentle, inevitable drifting toward its final transformation. You hover at a respectful distance, watching the soft red glow pulse like a giant heartbeat in the void. One day, this star will cast off its outer layers, creating a planetary nebula, a colorful bubble of gas that will expand into space like the petals of a cosmic flower. But for now, the giant simply breathes in slow rhythm, as if preparing for a beautiful ending. Not far away, another kind of ending is taking place. A star much larger than the red giant has long since passed the peaceful stage. It burned through its fuel in a frenzy, glowing blue-white and fierce. When such a massive star reaches its limit, it collapses inward in a fraction of a second, triggering a supernova. You float near the remains of such a blast. What once was a star is now a swirling nebula, an expanding cloud of glowing gases rich in colors Earth rarely sees. Shades of crimson, violet, gold, and turquoise ripple through the cloud like waves of light. If you stretch out your hand, it feels like you could almost touch the dust, though it's spread across light years of space. These nebulae are not just remnants of destruction, they are the raw material for the future. The atoms dispersing through this silent explosion, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, iron, will one day gather into new stars, new planets, perhaps even new life. Supernovae are the universe's way of recycling itself, turning endings into beginnings. As you drift through the radiant cloud, filaments of gas curl and twist in delicate structures shaped by magnetic fields and ancient winds. Light passes through them like the glow of distant lanterns behind stained glass. Every particle here has traveled across ages. Some will eventually settle in places where new stories will unfold. Leaving the nebula, you glide toward a region dominated by a massive cluster of young stars. They shine brilliantly, blue, white, and silver, as if freshly lit. These stars are so hot that their light pushes away the gas around them, carving hollow regions in the nebula from which they were born. Their brilliance is dazzling, but you keep a slow, steady pace, watching from a distance. The stars in this cluster are young, mere infants by cosmic standards. They burn fiercely, burning bright but short. Some may live only a few million years, a blink in the universe's timeline. But for now, they illuminate the darkness like torches held high in celebration. You drift past them and continue outward, where the density of stars thins again. The spiral arms of the Milky Way stretch like long ribbons, and you follow one of them slowly, carried forward by your own curiosity and the gentle pull of gravity. The next region you enter is filled with something strange, molecular clouds. These are dark clouds of hydrogen gas, dust, and organic molecules, chemicals that form the building blocks of life. They appear as vast, shadowy shapes blocking the starlight behind them. They look solid, but they are not. If you floated into one, it would feel like drifting into fog, except this fog is cold and ancient, spanning dozens of light years. Inside these clouds, temperatures fall to nearly absolute zero. Atoms move slowly, and time seems to thicken. Here is where some of the universe's most complex molecules form, chains of carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen that in the right conditions can help spark life. even in the deepest darkness, the universe is quietly preparing for possibilities it has seen unfold countless times. As you glide through this cold darkness, patches of light begin to appear, young stars forming deep inside the cloud, their heat carving tunnels through the gloom. Some shine faintly, their glow softened by the dust. Others burn brighter, pushing aside the darkness around them. It is like watching tiny flames ignite across a field of midnight. Eventually, the cloud fades, and you emerge back into the open expanse of the galaxy. Ahead of you lies something truly extraordinary, a globular cluster. Imagine a sphere of hundreds of thousands of stars, all packed tightly together, orbiting the galaxy like a glowing satellite. As you approach, the cluster looks like a shimmering golden ball suspended in space. Inside, stars are so close to one another that the night sky from any one of these worlds would be filled with countless suns. Darkness would be rare. Every direction would be filled with starlight, brighter than the Milky Way that drifts faintly across Earth's night sky. You drift slowly across the surface of the cluster, admiring its density, its beauty, its ancient heart. Many of the stars here are among the oldest in the galaxy, 12 or even 13 billion years old. They were born when the universe itself was young, when galaxies were just beginning to form. Their light carries memories of an era long before Earth existed. Leaving the globular cluster, you continue toward the outer regions of the galaxy. Stars become sparse, gas clouds thin. The Milky Way's spiral shape begins to reveal itself from a new angle. You are now drifting above one of the galaxy's arms, looking down as it curves gracefully through space. The view is breathtaking. A galaxy of 400 billion stars, slowly turning. A swirl of light and shadow, dust and fire, time and silence. And you are part of it, just as it is part of you. As you float in this calm expanse, you begin to feel something subtle. Not loneliness, but connection. Not emptiness, but presence. Not fear, but awe. Every star you pass is a reminder of how vast and beautiful the universe is, yet how gently it holds each of its creations. From supernovae to newborn stars, from molecular clouds to glowing clusters, every piece plays a role in the cosmic story unfolding around you. You drift onward, slowly, peacefully, guided by curiosity and quiet wonder, deeper into the galaxy, deeper into the story, deeper into the serene embrace of the universe. As you drift farther along the quiet arc of the galaxy's spiral arm, the universe around you begins to feel even more spacious. Stars that once seemed close now hang at great distances, each surrounded by its own silent kingdom of planets, moons, dust, and frozen comets. Space stretches gently in every direction, a calm ocean of darkness touched by soft points of light. There is something soothing about this emptiness. It isn't empty the way silence might feel after noise. It's empty in a peaceful way, like a deep breath, like a quiet room after a long day, like resting in a place where nothing demands your attention. The universe gives you room to simply drift, to simply exist. Ahead of you, a faint glimmer begins to grow, a thin band of stars forming a river of light across the darkness. You recognize it as one of the Milky Way's hidden structures, a stellar stream. These streams are the remnants of ancient dwarf galaxies that wandered too close to the Milky Way and were stretched out by its gravity. They now appear as long trails of stars, moving together like forgotten chapters of the galaxy's past. You glide beside one of these streams, watching the stars drift in unison. Some are bright, some faint, some pulsing softly with a gentle rhythm. They have traveled this way for billions of years, slowly blending into the Milky Way as time erases the memory of the smaller galaxies they once belonged to. As you drift onward, you notice something strange, a star whose light flickers in an odd pattern. Not like the gentle twinkle caused by Earth's atmosphere, but something more complex, more mysterious. You float closer and realize the star is surrounded by dust and gas, forming a disk that blocks some of its light. This is a young system, still forming planets, swirls of dust clumped together, slowly merging to become worlds. Rings of icy particles circle the newborn star like shimmering halos. If you look closely, you see areas where the disk dips inward, places where future planets are sweeping up material. You are witnessing the birth of a solar system, an event that takes tens of millions of years but appears still and serene from this distance. Somewhere within this swirling cradle, a world may one day develop oceans, continents, or life. But for now, it is only dust. Dust made from the ashes of older stars, carried across the galaxy by the wind of time. Leaving the young star behind, you enter a region shaped by gravity in sculptural ways. Here, stars orbit each other in pairs, binary systems, and some even in trios. Imagine two suns rising together in the sky of a distant world, casting double shadows across alien landscapes. Some stars orbit so close they exchange material, merging slowly like dancers moving. In tight embrace, others orbit far apart, meeting only once every few centuries. One pair captures your attention, a white dwarf and a larger star locked in a dramatic exchange. The white dwarf, small but incredibly dense, pulls gas from its companion. That gas forms a bright disk around the dwarf, heating as it spirals inward. Over time, the gas gathers pressure and eventually ignites in a brilliant flash, a nova. You watch one of these eruptions from a safe distance. It unfolds like a silent flower blooming in the dark. The star brightens suddenly, its light spreading through space, before fading again as if nothing happened. These eruptions can repeat many times, each one gentle, compared to the violent final explosions some stars experience. As you drift beyond these dancing stars, something massive comes into view, a dark shape outlined by the light of stars it distorts. It is a black hole, though not the supermassive one at the galactic center. This one is smaller, formed from the collapse of a giant star long ago. You never see the black hole itself. Instead, you see the space around it warp, like heat waves rising from a road on a hot day. If you floated too close, time would slow for you. Space would stretch, light would bend. But here, from a safe distance, it appears almost peaceful, a shadow in the starlight, a reminder that the universe has its mysteries and its silences. A star orbits this black hole, circling it in a slow, graceful path. Its light curves subtly as it passes behind the black hole, stretched by gravity in ways your eyes can barely detect. This gentle distortion is beautiful, like watching reality ripple. You drift onward, passing through a region where dust clouds form faint glowing arcs. These are remnants of dying stars, slowly expanding through space. Each cloud tells a story, a life lived in fire, an ending shaped in light, a gift of elements returned to the galaxy. You come across one cloud in particular, thin, delicate lines of gas spreading like threads in a spider web. At its center, the faint glow of a neutron star pulses rhythmically. This tiny remnant spins rapidly, sending beams of radiation into space like lighthouse beams in the dark. These pulses repeat with perfect precision, marking time across the cosmos. Imagine a clock that keeps beating long after its maker has vanished. That is what a pulsar is, a cosmic heartbeat left behind by a star that once burned bright. Farther ahead, something even more captivating appears, a giant dark nebula shaped like an enormous wave. It blocks nearly all the starlight behind it, creating the outline of a silhouette against the Milky Way's glow. This cloud is dense, cold, and heavy with potential. It's the kind of place where gravity may soon ignite new stars, but for now, it remains quiet, like a seed waiting for spring. As you drift near its edge, tiny grains of dust catch the faint light of nearby stars, glowing softly like embers in deep twilight. The temperature here is close to absolute zero, yet the cloud feels alive, humming with slow molecular motion and faint chemical reactions. Leaving the darkness behind, you begin to approach one of the Milky Way's bright stellar nurseries, an active region where many stars are being born at once. Towers of gas rise like mountains. Caverns of dust stretch for dozens of light years. Young stars push back the darkness with their intense light, carving shapes that look almost sculpted. Colors swirl quietly, pinks from glowing hydrogen, blues from burning young stars, and deep violets from scattered dust. It's a place of endings and beginnings. Old gas collapses, new light emerges. Everything moves in a rhythm far slower than any human life. You drift through this region carefully, watching the slow motion of a timeless process. A star in the earliest stages of birth flickers gently, its light faint and trembling. Another young star nearby is brighter, its winds blowing a bubble into the surrounding cloud. Somewhere far behind you, a collapsing pocket of gas has just ignited nuclear fusion, creating a new star that will shine for billions of years. Your journey carries you past these cradles of light, into a calmer region where stars are spread thin once more. The galaxy stretches around you like a vast spiral of memories, each star a page in a story that has no beginning and no end. As you float through this tranquil expanse, you feel a growing sense of connection, not just to the stars, but to the vastness itself. The universe is not cold, it is not distant, it is patient, watchful, ancient, and full of quiet wonders. Every star you've passed, every nebula you've drifted through, every dust cloud and dark region, they all existed long before us, and they will exist long after. Yet right now, in this moment, they share their light with you, and for a brief time, you share your quiet presence with them. You drift onward, guided by calm curiosity, deeper into the galaxy's soft glowing arms, where the next chapter of this cosmic journey quietly awaits. As your journey continues deeper through the Milky Way, the galaxy around you shifts subtly. The colors soften, the stars spread wider, and the vastness begins to open like a quiet meadow after a long forest path. The silence remains deep, but it becomes warmer, almost familiar, like a peaceful memory returning gently into your thoughts. You pass a region where starlight bends in faint arcs, shaped by invisible streams of dark matter. Though dark matter cannot be seen, its presence is unmistakable. It forms the hidden framework of the galaxy, the silent skeleton holding billions of stars in place. Without it, the Milky Way would fly apart, unable to hold itself together. But dark matter never shines, never reflects, never glows. It simply is, steady, unseen, always guiding. You drift through this invisible sea, feeling the faint gravitational tug that shapes the curves of the galaxy's arms. There's something comforting about it. Even the things you cannot see still hold structure, still create harmony in the universe. It reminds you that not all important things are visible. Some of them, like dark matter, are known only by their influence. Ahead, you notice a strange pulse of light, a star flashing at regular intervals like a beacon. You glide closer and discover an eclipsing binary system. Two stars orbit one another so precisely that, from your vantage point, one regularly passes in front of the other, causing the combined light to dip and rise in a smooth, rhythmic cycle. It feels almost like breathing. Light, shadow, a gentle pulse, steady and timeless. These kinds of systems teach astronomers about the size, mass and orbit of stars. But here in the quiet of space, you simply watch it as a cosmic lullaby, the stars moving in a dance that has been repeating for millions of years. Further along your path, you encounter another marvel, an enormous stellar arc formed from the remains of an ancient collision. Long ago, a dwarf galaxy passed through this region, and the Milky Way's gravity stretched it into a stream of stars, dust and gas. Over time, the stream curved into a graceful arc, almost like the shape of a crescent moon made of starlight. You glide along the arc, watching stars move in a slow tide, drifting as if carried by a gentle cosmic wind. The stars here are older, quieter, their light softened by age. They glow like lanterns hung in the night, each offering a quiet memory of the universe's past. As you move beyond the arc, the galaxy becomes darker, though not empty. Ahead lies a massive void, a region with unusually few stars. It stretches for thousands of light years, a giant pocket of cosmic emptiness. The void feels peaceful in a strange way, like standing in the center of a silent, snow-covered field where sound falls away and time feels slower. You drift into the void, watching faint pinpricks of light far in the distance. Stars form a thin shell around the emptiness, outlining it like the walls of a quiet, dark cathedral. Here, the darkness feels deeper but not frightening. It surrounds you like a soft blanket, allowing you to breathe slowly, gently, without interruption. In this stillness, you can almost hear the silent hum of the universe, a rhythm that has existed since the first stars formed. It's not a sound you hear with your ears, but something you feel, like a quiet pulse moving through you and the stars together. Emerging from the void, you enter a region filled with long ribbons of dust. These dust lanes weave through the galaxy, absorbing light and creating dramatic dark streaks across glowing backgrounds. They are thick, thicker than they appear from Earth, and drifting through them feels like gliding inside a cosmic river of shadow. Stars behind the dust appear dimmer, their light filtered into warm golden tones. Some areas glow softly where starlight escapes through thinner patches. The contrast between brightness and darkness here is beautiful, like sunlight shining through drifting clouds at dusk. One particularly large dust lane curves gently across your field of view. It stretches for hundreds of light years, forming an elegant sweeping line. As you drift alongside it, you notice tiny bright knots scattered along the lane, regions where gravity is slowly pulling dust together to form new stars. These knots are like seeds, dormant but full of potential. You leave the dust lane and soon reach a quieter area of the galaxy where ancient stars dominate. Many of these stars are orange or red, smaller and older, burning slowly and steadily for billions of years. They have seen eras of the galaxy that humans can scarcely imagine. Some existed before Earth was even formed, some formed before the Sun, some will outlive both. As you approach one such ancient star, you feel a sense of reverence. Its light is gentle, warm and steady. The star pulses very slightly as it burns helium in a stable rhythm. Its surface glows like molten copper. Orbiting it is a small, rocky world, cold, barren and quiet. It is a relic from the galaxy's early years, unchanged for eons. You drift past it and continue onward until you encounter a more chaotic region, an area shaped by immense gravitational tides from nearby star clusters. Here, stars move in unusual orbits, looping in stretched ellipses, bending sharply as they pass through invisible gravitational wells. It looks like a ballet performed in slow motion, each star tracing an elegant arc through space. Amid this dance lies something remarkable, a rogue planet. It floats alone, not orbiting any star, wandering freely through the galaxy. Its surface is cold, perhaps covered in ice, yet its core may still hold some warmth. Rogue planets are rare, slipping quietly through space after being ejected from their original systems long ago. You drift alongside the lonely planet for a moment. Its silence feels different, not the serene emptiness of space, but a quiet longing, as if it remembers the star it once orbited. Yet there is beauty in its solitude, in its gentle journey through the dark, guided only by the faint gravity of the galaxy around it. Leaving the rogue planet, you begin to approach one of the Milky Way's spiral arms from a different angle. From here, the arm looks like a flowing river of stars stretching across thousands of light years. Blue stars cluster in the inner curve, glowing intensely. Red stars drift along the outer edges, quieter and older. Dust clouds swirl between them like smoke rising from a distant fire. You move slowly into this region, letting the soft blue and golden light wash over you. The spiral arm seems alive, breathing with cycles of birth and death, light and shadow, motion and silence. It feels like the heartbeat of the galaxy. Among the bright stars of the spiral arm, you see a cluster of brilliant blue giants. These stars are immense, dozens of times the mass of the sun. They burn fiercely, living short but spectacular lives. Their light is so strong it creates shadows even in space, casting long dark streaks across nearby dust. As you drift near them, you feel the faint warmth of their radiation. Though you remain far outside the range where heat could harm you, the light is bright but calming, like the glow of a distant sunrise filtered through fog. Farther along the arm, you see a strange phenomenon, bow shocks. These are waves of gas shaped by rapidly moving stars traveling through dense regions of dust. They look like bright arcs, curved like the front of a ship, slicing through water. The sight is both powerful and serene, a cosmic reminder that even movement in space creates beauty. Beyond the spiral arm, the stars begin to thin again. The Milky Way's disk becomes softer, its boundaries more diffuse. You find yourself drifting upward, away from the plane of the galaxy, rising into a region where the stars spread out in every direction. Now the Milky Way reveals itself from above, a vast silver river against the blackness, glowing softly with the combined light of billions of suns. It stretches in a wide spiral, its arms curling gracefully, its core glowing like a golden ember. You are floating above it all, perhaps thousands of light years above the galactic plane. From here, the galaxy looks delicate, almost fragile, a masterpiece painted slowly over billions of years. And as you hover in this quiet vantage point, a peaceful feeling washes through you, a sense that the universe is not something separate from you. You are part of this galaxy, part of this starlight, part of this ancient story woven through time. The Milky Way rotates slowly beneath you, turning in silence, and you drift with it, weightless, calm, and curious, ready for the next chapter of this cosmic journey. From your vantage point high above the Milky Way, the galaxy beneath you seems to drift in an endless slow-motion dance. Its arms stretch outward like soft, glowing rivers of light, each one carrying billions of stars along a path carved by gravity and time. As you begin to lower yourself gently back towards the disk, the galaxy's structure becomes clearer, an elegant spiral, delicate yet immense, holding stories older than memory. You descend slowly, letting gravity's faint pull guide you into the quiet outskirts of the galaxy. This region is known as the stellar halo, a sparse, ancient domain far from the crowded spiral arms. Here, stars drift like isolated lanterns, separated by enormous distances. Many of them are among the oldest stars ever discovered, forming long before the Milky Way gained its familiar spiral shape. One such star glows softly ahead of you. Its light is weak but steady, like the flicker of a candle that refuses to go out. This star has burned quietly for more than 12 billion years. When it was born, the universe itself was young. Galaxies were still forming, and the cosmic background radiation that once filled all of space was just beginning to fade. As you drift closer, you feel a kind of reverence for this ancient survivor. It carries within it the chemical fingerprints of the early universe, primordial hydrogen and helium, with only tiny traces of heavier elements. It is a relic, a witness to an era long gone, yet still burning softly in the darkness. You move past it and continue traveling through the halo, where ghostly structures begin to emerge. A faint network of star streams, thin trails of scattered stars. These streams are the remains of small galaxies consumed by the Milky Way's gravity. Over billions of years, they were stretched into elegant arcs, their stars slowly blending into the halo. Each trail is a memory of a lost world, a record of the galaxy's growth and change. The farther you drift, the more these streams appear, long, faint, shimmering paths that crisscross the darkness like ancient carvings on the universe's canvas. You follow one, watching the stars move together, bound by a shared origin. There's something beautiful about their unity, even after their home galaxy was torn apart. It reminds you that survival takes many forms, even in the cosmos. Soon you reach a quiet region where the halo meets the disk once more. You drift downward until the stars begin to grow thicker, forming a soft, glowing layer beneath you. The transition feels peaceful, like sinking gently into a warm ocean after floating above its surface. Now back inside the disk, you move toward a region where stars shine with a soft, scattered glow. This is one of the Milky Way's interarm spaces, areas between the major spiral arms. These regions are quieter, less active, and filled with older, calmer stars. They drift slowly, undisturbed by the bursts of star formation happening in the spiral arms. You float alongside a group of these stars. They are warm, familiar, glowing with golden and orange hues. Many of them have planets, some silent and barren, others possibly harboring warmth beneath thick atmospheres. You imagine what a sunset might look like from one of these distant worlds, the sky tinted orange by a small, aging sun. As you move deeper into the interarm region, a strange glow appears ahead, soft, diffuse, almost like a faint fog lit from within. You approach it carefully and realize it is a reflection nebula. Unlike glowing nebulae that emit their own light, this one shines because it reflects the light of nearby stars. Tiny dust particles scatter starlight in shades of pale blue and silver. The effect is delicate, almost dreamy, like moonlight shining through mist. You drift through the glowing haze, watching the light shimmer gently around you. It feels like floating through a quiet dream, calm, cool, and timeless. Beyond the reflection, nebula lies a more turbulent region. Here, massive clouds of molecular gas twist into towering shapes. These clouds are colder, darker, and thicker than the ones you've encountered before. Some stretch for hundreds of light years, their silhouettes blocking entire clusters of stars. They are shaped by the competing forces of gravity, pressure, and the faint heat from nearby stars. Inside these clouds, countless molecules drift. Hydrogen, carbon monoxide, ammonia, and more. These are the building blocks of planets, stars, and even life. The cloud's coldness, nearly absolute zero, helps molecules bond and form long chains. Even in the quietest, darkest corners of the galaxy, chemistry is at work, slowly crafting the ingredients for futures not yet written. You glide through a narrow gap in the cloud, emerging into a region where newly formed stars are breaking free from their dusty cocoons. Their light shines brightly, cutting through the residual dust like morning sunlight piercing fog. Some stars still carry faint halos of material that will become planets. Others have already cleared their surroundings, standing alone in the soft glow of their radiance. Farther along, you encounter an astonishing sight. A pair of massive star clusters moving past each other like two drifting islands. Each cluster contains thousands of stars, many young and vibrant, glowing in shades of blue and white. They move slowly in their orbits, influenced by the galaxy's gravitational field and by each other. As you drift between them, the sky brightens with the combined light of thousands of suns. It feels almost like midday, illuminated by starlight alone. The clusters are so dense that the night sky on any planet within them would never be truly dark. Stars would fill every horizon, shimmering like a sea of fire. You continue forward until the clusters fade behind you and the galaxy becomes quieter once more. Ahead lies the Orion Spur, a small branch of the Milky Way, one that contains the sun, the earth, and everything familiar. But you approach a different part of the spur, one filled with regions of calm star formation. Here, gas clouds swirl lazily, forming graceful arcs and tendrils. The density is low, the activity gentle. It feels like drifting through a cosmic afternoon. The warmth soft, the light subtle, the silence deep. In this region, you find a lone star surrounded by a faint debris disk. Pieces of rock, ice, and dust orbit it like a broken ring. These fragments are leftovers from the formation of planets, worlds that might have begun but never finished forming. Over millions of years, collisions shattered them into smaller pieces, creating a belt of quiet, drifting debris. You move past the star and drift toward a faint glimmer rising from the darkness. At first, it looks like a simple reflection of starlight, but as you approach, you see the truth. A distant supernova remnant, far older and larger than the one you passed earlier. This remnant has expanded over thousands of years, stretching into a delicate web of gas and dust. Its filaments glow faintly, like strands of silk illuminated by distant lanterns. The explosion that created it was unimaginably powerful, but what remains now is peaceful, fragile, and mesmerizing. You pass through the filaments slowly, watching them shimmer with the faintest hints of green and purple. The colors are subtle, barely visible, as if painted lightly across the darkness by a quiet hand. Leaving the remnant behind, you approach an area where stars are more evenly spaced, forming a gentle starry field stretching in all directions. This region feels calm, like a resting place between the galaxy's busier neighborhoods. The light here is soft, the motion slow, the silence comforting. You drift onward, guided by nothing but curiosity and the quiet pull of wonder. The Milky Way stretches endlessly around you, its spiral arms curling like cosmic tides. You are drifting through one of the most beautiful realms in the universe, a realm that has existed for billions of years, patiently waiting for curious minds to imagine it. As you float deeper into this tranquil expanse, you prepare to enter another remarkable region, one that reveals yet another layer of the galaxy's timeless story. As you drift farther into the quiet heart of the Orion Spur, the light around you softens until it feels as if you are floating through a cosmic twilight. The stars gather more densely here, but their glow is gentle, like scattered fireflies drifting across a vast, endless field. Each star has its own story, some energetic and young, some ancient and weary, and some in the final chapters of their long cosmic lives. You let yourself float through this starlit haze until a peculiar glow catches your attention. It's not the steady illumination of stars, nor the faint shimmer of dust. Instead, this light flickers slightly, pulsing in slow rhythmic waves. As you approach, the source becomes clearer, a pulsating red giant. This star is colossal, swollen to hundreds of times the size of the sun. Its outer layers gently expand and contract in a soothing rhythm, almost like the slow breathing of a sleeping giant. With every expansion, its glow brightens softly. With every contraction, the light fades into a warm, muted red. You pause for a moment, watching the star breathe. The cycles are calm, predictable, even peaceful. It feels as though the star itself is resting, preparing for its transformation. One day, far in the future, it will shed its outer layers entirely, leaving behind a white dwarf, an ember glowing quietly in the dark. But for now, it simply pulses, sending waves of warmth through the surrounding space. Moving past the red giant, you reach a region where the interstellar medium becomes thicker, not enough to block the stars, but enough to soften the view. It's like drifting into a thin cosmic fog. Dust grains and molecules scatter faint starlight into gentle, hazy beams. The effect is calming, like walking through a mist-filled valley just before dawn. Within this soft haze, you encounter something rare, an isolated brown dwarf. It shines faintly, barely hot enough to glow. Its light is dusky, almost purple, and it seems to float in solitude, neither a star nor a planet. These failed stars are common throughout the galaxy, drifting quietly between brighter companions. You hover near it, sensing the quiet dignity of an object that burns so faintly yet persists across billions of years. As you move beyond the brown dwarf, the mist begins to thin, and the stars grow brighter again. A Ahead of you is a small stellar nursery, not as large or dramatic as the great nebulae you have seen, but beautiful in its subtlety. Here, delicate wisps of gas cradle newly formed stars. Some still hide behind dusty veils, their light barely visible. Others shine through with soft blue radiance, illuminating small pockets of space like lanterns behind frosted glass. Among these young stars, swirling disks of dust spiral slowly. These are the birthplaces of planets. Tiny grains collide and stick together, growing gradually into pebbles, then rocks, then world-sized bodies. You imagine what these planets may become, perhaps barren and cold, perhaps warm and vibrant, perhaps someday home to oceans, mountains, storms, or life. As you drift through the nursery, you notice faint shapes etched in the gas, patterns carved by the winds of nearby stars. Some look like waves, others like soft ridges or delicate curtains. It's a reminder that star formation is not violent everywhere. Sometimes it's gentle, guided by subtle pressure and slow gravitational gathering. Leaving the nursery behind, you enter a region of remarkable contrast. Here, two very different types of stars exist side by side, one incredibly bright, the other barely glowing. The bright one is a blue giant, blazing with intense light. Its surface burns at tens of thousands of degrees, sending fierce radiation into space. Its light is so strong that the gas around it glows in shimmering arcs, forming ionized regions like glowing halos. Blue giants live fast and die young. Their brilliance is breathtaking but short. Within a few million years, this star will collapse, perhaps becoming a supernova or leaving behind a neutron star. In contrast, the second star nearby is a small red dwarf, tiny, cool, and quiet. It radiates a soft, steady glow, so steady that it may live for trillions of years. While the blue giant burns violently and briefly, the red dwarf represents patience, longevity, serenity. For every blue giant in the galaxy, there are hundreds of millions of these quiet red stars, forming the silent backbone of the cosmic night. You glide between the two stars, feeling the stark difference between their light. One fierce, one gentle, one living in urgency, the other in quiet endurance. The galaxy contains both extremes and everything in between, in a balance that stretches across billions of years. Deeper in the spur, you reach a region of older stars, fading orange suns, and exhausted yellow dwarfs nearing the ends of their lifetimes. Some have shed faint clouds of gas, remnants of planetary nebulae that have long since begun to dissipate. Their shapes are barely visible now, thin glimmers drifting away into the darkness. Here, the galaxy feels more reflective, more peaceful. There is no rush of star formation, no violent interactions, just the slow, patient fading of ancient light. One of these old stars draws your attention. It is unusually faint, yet surrounded by a large diffuse shell, a remnant of material it cast off centuries ago. As you drift closer, you see that the shell glows faintly in infrared light, invisible to the naked eye, but present in the warmth of the gas itself. This is a dying star in its quiet twilight. It does not rage or explode. It simply settles into stillness, letting go of its energy gently. You pass through the shell and continue into the quieter outskirts of the spur, where stars are sparse and the darkness grows deeper. But even here, the quiet is not empty. You begin to notice subtle streaks of faint blue-white light, cosmic rays striking thin pockets of gas, causing tiny flashes like microscopic lightning. These flashes are brief, almost imperceptible, but they occur everywhere across the galaxy. The flashes remind you that even in the calmest regions of space, invisible movement continues. Particle streams from distant supernova travel across the galaxy like silent messengers, passing through dust, gas, planets, even your body back on Earth. The universe never truly rests. It only appears still from a distance. Ahead, you encounter something unusual, a lone neutron star drifting through space. It is tiny, no larger than a city, but incredibly dense. Its magnetic field twists the surrounding space into complex, invisible shapes. Occasionally, it emits a faint pulse of radiation as it spins, a rhythmic blink, steady and precise. This neutron star functions like a cosmic clock, ticking quietly in the darkness. As you observe it, you imagine the star it once was, a massive giant that ended in a spectacular collapse. The explosion may have lit up the sky of distant planets for weeks, and now all that remains is this small, dense remnant spinning silently, sending out faint whispers of energy. You drift closer, just far enough to sense the strength of its gravity, a pull so intense that even small particles are dragged into tight, spiraling paths. Yet from where you hover, the experience is serene. The neutron star pulses gently, like a lighthouse with a beam meant more for the universe than for any observer. Leaving the neutron star behind, you glide toward a region where the density of stars increases again. But these are not young stars, nor old ones. These are stars of all ages, mixed together, forming a rich, diverse tapestry. It is a transitional region, a bridge between different neighborhoods of the galaxy. As you drift through this region, you begin to notice something beautiful, patterns in the stars themselves. They form faint arcs, loops, and ripples caused by past gravitational interactions. These patterns are the galaxy's memory, written in the language of orbits and motion. Each ripple tells a story of nearby clusters passing through, of spiral waves moving outward, of ancient collisions subtly sculpting the paths of stars. You follow one such faint ripple. It curves elegantly, guiding your path like a soft current. As you drift along it, you realize it is made entirely of stars that once belonged to a small cluster long ago dispersed. These stars still move together, tied by a shared origin even after being separated across space. The ripple slowly fades, and you continue onward until the stars around you begin to thin once more. The region grows quieter, darker, softer. You are moving toward the edge of the Orion Spur, toward the boundary where this small galactic branch meets the wider expanse of the Milky Way. Here, the sky feels enormous. The spiral arms stretch like luminous rivers far into the distance. Clusters swirl quietly, nebulae faintly glow, and solitary stars drift like lanterns on an endless sea. You feel the weight of the galaxy, not heavy but vast, spreading around you in all directions. And as you glide into this deeper, calmer darkness, the next chapter of your journey waits, another ascent into the galaxy's mysteries, quiet and endless. As you drift beyond the outer edge of the Orion Spur, the galaxy opens up like a great cosmic panorama. The stars become more scattered at first, leaving pockets of darkness between them, vast pools of calm, cool emptiness. Yet this emptiness doesn't feel lonely. It feels expansive, welcoming, like the open sea at night, where stillness carries its own quiet beauty. Ahead, a broad, faintly luminous cloud stretches across space like a soft veil. It glows in pale blues and silvers, a subtle reflection of starlight on dust. This is the outer halo of a distant stellar stream, a ribbon left behind by an ancient cluster that was once captured by the Milky Way's gravity. Now, its stars drift slowly along a gentle wave-like path, still moving together after billions of years. You enter the stream. The stars here are spaced far apart, but they share a common motion, a slow, graceful drift, like snowflakes falling in a gentle breeze. These stars are old, older than most in the spiral arms. Many were born before the Milky Way reached its current shape. Their light is soft, faint, slightly reddish, and filled with the quiet weight of time. Floating among them, you sense their stories. Some lived through cosmic eras when galaxies collided more frequently. Some saw nebulae form and fade. Some began burning when the universe was still young and warm, not yet stretched by expansion into the cooler reality you know today. As you glide past one of these ancient stars, you notice its flicker, barely noticeable, but rhythmic. It's a variable star, expanding and contracting on a cycle so slow that its heartbeat is measured in weeks, not seconds. If you listen long enough, you can almost sense its pulse, like a calm cosmic breath. It has been breathing like this since before Earth existed. Moving deeper into the stellar stream, the density of stars increases again, forming a long arc that curves around the outer edge of the Milky Way's disk. Here, the darkness softens and light forms gentle gradients like watercolor washes spreading across space. You pause near a group of stars that seem unusually close together, not a cluster, but a surviving fragment of one. These stars once orbited tightly in the core of a compact cluster, but over billions of years, gravitational tides stretched the group into a loose association. Even scattered, their paths remain intertwined. Some still orbit each other in wide, slow loops. Others drift near the same trajectory, like family members walking in the same direction long after leaving home. Beyond this fragment lies a region where the glow of the Milky Way becomes brighter and more unified. You're nearing the transition between the outer halo and the broader spiral arms. Here, faint tendrils of gas drift in long, sweeping arcs, illuminated by the soft blue light of young stars born far closer to the galactic center. One such tendril flows like a ribbon through space, thin, delicate, and shimmering. When you float closer, you find it's not a ribbon at all, but a long filament of gas shaped by the galaxy's rotation. The filament stretches for thousands of light years. Its density is low, but its shape is clear, like a trail of cosmic mist caught in a slow-motion whirl. Within the filament, the gas glows faintly in ultraviolet light, creating subtle gradients and soft glimmers. These glimmers are whispers of potential, signs that somewhere within this cold cloud, pockets may someday collapse to form new stars. As you move through the filament, the view shifts gradually from the dim outskirts to a brighter, richer region. Far below, you see the wide, sweeping structure of the Milky Way's spiral arms beginning to dominate the sky. They stretch around the galactic center, glowing with the light of billions of stars. You drift downward toward the nearest large arm, the Perseus arm. From a distance, it resembles a swirling, luminous river cutting through a dark cosmic landscape. Stars sparkle along it like flecks of light on a moving tide. Dust lanes weave through it in dark, elegant patterns like brushstrokes on a celestial canvas. As you approach the arm, the space around you grows brighter, more filled with detail. The number of stars increases dramatically. Dust clouds glow in soft reds and purples. Regions of intense light emerge where young clusters have recently formed. One such region lies just ahead, a small but vibrant star-forming pocket. Not as large as the famous nebulae, but filled with life nonetheless. Inside it, dark clouds of gas twist in slow spirals. At their edges, faint blue stars peek out, newly ignited and pushing back the surrounding darkness. You pass through the outer layers of the region where the gas is thinner and glowing faintly with scattered light. The particles shine with a gentle warmth, almost like embers in a dying fire. As you glide closer to the center, the glow strengthens, reflecting off thicker patches of dust. Just beyond a dense patch, you encounter the heart of the pocket, a bright, compact cluster of hot young stars. Their light mixes into a shimmering blend of blues and whites. The radiation they emit pushes against the surrounding gas, creating wave-like patterns, soft ripples that move outward like the circles formed when a pebble drops into water. You float gently above the cluster, watching the interplay of light and matter. The surrounding gas glows in soft hues, pink, lavender, amber, colors produced by different atoms absorbing and re-emitting the starlight. The cluster hums with quiet energy, not loud or violent, but lively, like the hushed excitement of a forest filled with fireflies. Leaving the pocket behind, you drift along the Perseus arm. Here, stars are arranged in long chains and arcs, shaped by the arm's gravitational waves. You sense the gentle pull of the arm's density wave, a pattern that moves through the galaxy like a slow ocean swell. It compresses gas as it travels, causing star formation to bloom in its wake. You pass a group of bright blue-white stars, each young and powerful. Their light is sharp, almost crystalline. They burn intensely, but will live short lives, fated to die in brilliant explosions. Nearby, you notice another type of star, cooler, older, orange-tinted. These older stars lie slightly off the main lanes of the spiral, drifting slowly outward as they age. Their orbits have widened over time, carrying them gently away from the central lanes of star formation. Within this region, you discover something extraordinary. A massive binary system where two stars orbit each other so closely that their outer layers touch. From a distance, they resemble a soft, flickering flame, gently merging and separating with each rotation. Their light blends into a harmonious glow, illuminating the surrounding gas with a subtle golden-white brightness. As you approach, the combined gravitational pull becomes stronger and more complex. The stars exchange material in delicate streams, creating loops and arcs around their shared center of mass. These streams glow faintly, like thin strands of molten metal suspended in the air. You linger near the binary for a moment, sensing the balance between them. Powerful, delicate, and synchronized over millions of years. You imagine how their story might end, perhaps a merger into a single larger star, perhaps a collapse into exotic remnants. Whatever their fate, for now they dance in perfect harmony. Drifting further along the spiral arm, you encounter a quieter region. Fewer bright stars, more diffuse light. This area feels older, more settled, like a neighborhood whose youngest children have already grown, leaving behind quiet streets and gentle illumination. In this tranquil zone, the stars shine steadily with mature light. Many are sun-like, yellow, stable, balanced. Around some of them, faint dim lines reveal the presence of distant planetary systems. You sense the cold, unseen worlds orbiting in silence, gas giants, rocky spheres, icy bodies drifting far from their stars. As you move through this region, you notice something subtle but unmistakable, a faint glow that doesn't come from stars. It is the combined light of countless unresolved distant suns, blended together into a soft galactic sheen. It fills the background like a warm cosmic fog, calming and expansive. Ahead, you see a cluster of faint red dwarfs close together. These tiny stars are dim but numerous. They form small pockets of warmth in the cold space around them, like lanterns gathered at a quiet campground. Red dwarfs live long, stable lives, so long that none of them have ever truly died in the entire history of the universe. You pass close to one such red dwarf. Its glow is faint but comforting, steady and unwavering. You sense the smallness of it, and yet the magnificence of its endurance. Long after galaxies shift and fade, after brighter stars burn out, red dwarfs will remain, tiny embers in an aging cosmos. As you drift past the cluster, you begin to see the next region of space open ahead of you, darker, colder, deeper. The Perseus arm stretches onward, curving into the galaxy's grand structure. There is more to explore, more nebulae, more clusters, more silent mysteries waiting in the vastness. And as you glide onward, the arm leads you deeper into a soothing expanse of starlight, preparing you for the next chapter of your journey, gentle, expansive, and endless. As you drift farther along the Perseus arm, something subtle begins to change in the space around you. The stars grow denser, not in a chaotic way, but in a soft, harmonious pattern, like points of light woven into a cosmic tapestry. The background glow brightens slightly, filling the space with a gentle, diffuse radiance that feels almost warm, despite the absolute cold of the vacuum. Ahead lies a region shaped by the gravitational tides of the spiral arm, long arcs of stars forming quiet waves. each wave a memory of motion accumulated over millions of years. These arcs are faint but elegant, and as you approach, they feel like the brushstrokes of a cosmic painter stretching across the galactic canvas. You allow yourself to follow one of these arcs, drifting slowly along its curve. The stars here are mostly middle-aged, steady, reliable, and calm. Their light is soft, golden, and soothing. Some of them host planetary systems, though the planets remain hidden in the deep shadows, quietly orbiting in their long cosmic cycles. You choose one such star at random and drift closer. It glows with a gentle yellow-white light, its brightness steady, its surface calm. Around it, you sense a system of worlds, some rocky, some gaseous. Their orbits create delicate patterns, each planet moving with quiet precision. One rocky planet catches your attention. It is barren, covered in dusty plains and frozen ridges, yet its surface reflects the starlight in subtle hues of silver and gold. Thin wisps of atmosphere hug its surface, creating a faint, shimmering halo. Although lifeless, the planet feels peaceful, stable, a world that has existed unchanged for billions of years and will remain so long after this star fades. Leaving the system behind, you drift deeper into a region where the star density increases further. Here, clusters of young stars form bright pockets scattered among older, quieter regions. These pockets glow with soft blue light, their brightness softened by dust clouds that wrap around them like translucent veils. You pass near one such cluster, a young stellar group still forming its identity. The stars inside are hot and bright, but the thick dust around them diffuses their light into gentle beams that spread outward in soft arcs. It feels like gliding past lanterns hidden behind thin silk. Within the dust, you notice strange shapes, pillars, ridges, and long twisting structures carved by stellar winds. These structures resemble mountains formed of gas and dust, rising in the vacuum like silent frozen sculptures. They glow faintly where newly formed stars hide within them, their light leaking through small cracks and gaps like sparks inside ancient stones. You drift closer to one of these pillars. Its surface is turbulent, filled with swirling textures shaped by centuries of radiation. A faint, warm glow pulses deep inside it, hinting at a newborn star just beginning to emerge. You cannot see the star clearly, but you sense its presence, a delicate heartbeat buried under layers of dust, waiting for the moment it will shine freely across space. Leaving the pillar behind, you glide into a quieter region where stars are spaced farther apart. The darkness between them grows deeper, more expansive, but the stillness is calming. It feels like floating into a wide open meadow after walking through a dense forest, spacious, breathable, gentle. Ahead, a faint arc of starlight curves across space. It is a remnant of a past gravitational encounter, perhaps a small galaxy that once drifted too close to the Milky Way, shedding stars into a long tidal tail. These stars, though scattered now, still follow the arc's faint curve, like pearls slipping from a broken string, but maintaining the shape of the original necklace. You glide along the arc, sensing the subtle gravitational motions that once shaped it. The stars are older than most you've seen so far. Their light is dim and warm, but steady. They seem content, drifting along paths defined not by chaos, but by ancient tides. As you reach the end of the arc, you enter a region where a large molecular cloud stretches across space like a slow-moving river. It is enormous, hundreds of light-years long, but its edges glow faintly with reflected starlight, giving it a soft, ethereal appearance. Inside, the cloud is dense and dark, home to the earliest whispers of star formation. You approach the outer layers, where the gas becomes translucent. Wisps of carbon and silicate dust drift in quiet eddies, illuminated only by the faintest glimmers of nearby stars. These particles reflect light in subtle, shifting hues, soft blues, gentle reds, occasional flashes of infrared warmth that shimmer like embers in a distant fire. Within the cloud, you see younger regions where stars are just beginning to form, They appear not as bright points, but as soft glows buried deep within the dust, small pockets of light surrounded by vast darkness. These newborn stars will take millions of years to emerge fully, but their dim glows already add warmth to the cloud's cold interior. Gliding through the thinner edge of the cloud, you notice something extraordinary, a tiny protostar forming inside a swirling disk of gas. The protostar is only faintly visible, its light barely strong enough to pierce the surrounding dust, but you can sense its presence as a soft point of heat, fed by the spiraling flow of gas around it. Over millions of years, this small seed of light will gather more material, ignite fully, and become a star of its own. You leave the cloud and drift toward a region where several small clusters lie scattered like islands in a calm sea. These clusters vary in age, some filled with young blue stars, others with older yellow and orange stars. Together, they form a mosaic of stellar evolution across time. You pause near an older cluster. Its stars are warm and steady, many approaching the later stages of their lives. The cluster has lost much of its original mass, its stars drifting apart over billions of years. But the remaining members still hold together loosely, their orbits slow and gentle. Among them you find a rare sight, a planetary nebula. Unlike the large and colourful nebulae often seen in images, this one is small and fading. The shell of gas surrounding the white dwarf at its centre is thin and delicate, illuminated by the residual heat of the dying star. The nebula glows with faint blue and green hues. Its shape is almost symmetrical, but softened by time. It resembles a bubble of light caught in the middle of dissolving. The central white dwarf glows like a tiny ember, small, dense, and incredibly hot. It is the last burning core of a once vibrant star, now settling into eternal calm. Leaving the nebula behind, you enter a darker stretch of space. The regions ahead appear devoid of bright clusters or dense clouds. Instead, the stars here are scattered widely, giving the area a peaceful emptiness. Yet even this emptiness holds its wonders. As you glide forward, you see faint, thread-like structures, long, thin streams of stars shaped by the gravitational tides of the galaxy. Some streams stretch for hundreds of light years, weaving through space like barely visible threads of silver. These streams are remnants of ancient globular clusters pulled apart over time. The stars inside them share the same origins, the same chemicals, the same motion. You glide through one such stream, feeling the quiet dignity of these stellar survivors drifting across eons. Beyond the stream, the Perseus arm begins to curve away, directing your path toward a dimmer region filled with interstellar dust. The dust absorbs starlight, creating patches of deep shadow. Yet within those shadows, you sense motion. Not violent, but slow and steady, like continents drifting across a silent sea. In this region, gravitational interactions ripple gently through the dust, creating patterns that resemble waves or folded blankets. These patterns shift extremely slowly, their movements spanning thousands of years, yet they remain beautifully smooth. As you move deeper into this region, the shadows begin to thin, and a faint golden glow emerges. Ahead lies a broad area rich in older stars, calm, balanced suns that have settled into long, stable lifetimes. There is no urgency here, no rapid star formation or violent winds, only equilibrium. You glide through this tranquil region, watching the stars drift past like lanterns hung in still air. Their light is warm, steady, and comforting. Some show signs of long-lived planetary systems, old worlds orbiting in quiet harmony, untouched by chaos for billions of years. This region feels like the heart of calm, a place where time seems to stretch gently, where everything moves at its own quiet pace. And as you drift farther into this comforting starlight, the galaxy opens into yet another vast expanse, a place deeper, quieter, and more mysterious, waiting for the next chapter of your journey. As you drift beyond the quiet region of old, steady stars, the galaxy begins to thin again. The change happens gently at first. The warm glow fades into a softer, more diffused light. The stars spread farther apart, and the spaces between them stretch into wider pools of darkness. Darkness that feels peaceful, cool, and infinite. You float through this openness as if drifting through a long, quiet night. No bright clusters disturb the stillness. No nebulae flare with sudden color. The nearest stars shine faintly, like distant lanterns glimpsed across a sleeping valley. The emptiness is vast, yet calming, an ocean of quiet where everything breathes slowly. Then something remarkable emerges ahead, a faint, arching structure of starlight stretching across space like a bridge. It's a stellar arc, another remnant of a long-vanished dwarf galaxy that once passed close to the Milky Way. The arc curves gracefully, its stars moving together in a slow, synchronized drift. You enter the arc gently, gliding among its old, soft burning stars. Many of them are enriched with heavy elements containing the ashes of earlier stellar generations. They glow with warm golden hues, like embers of an ancient fire. These stars carry within them stories older than memory, stories of galaxies colliding, merging, dissolving into one another. The arc gradually dissolves into the surrounding darkness, and you drift onward until a soft, hazy glow appears far off, barely visible at first. The glow grows slowly, taking shape as a wide field of diffuse light. You are approaching a region known as the galactic cirrus. Galactic cirrus is made of thin, wispy dust clouds, illuminated by the combined starlight of the Milky Way. These clouds are extraordinarily faint, so faint they can only be seen under dark, sensitive observation. Yet from your vantage point, drifting silently through the dark, the cirrus appears like luminous fog, suspended hundreds of light years above the galactic plane. The clouds stretch in long, whisper-thin strands, drifting like smoke caught in an eternal breeze. Their texture is delicate, soft, almost ghost-like. You float through the cirrus, and the dust glows around you in subtle blues and pale golds. The glow is gentle, never bright, never sharp, just a soft reminder that even the faintest dust in the galaxy can shimmer under the right light. As you glide through the cirrus, the density of dust increases slightly, causing the starlight behind it to scatter into delicate halos. The effect is soothing, like watching moonlight glow through thin clouds on a quiet night. Eventually, the cirrus fades, and you return to darkness. But ahead lies something brighter, a glimmer that grows into a wide, diffuse patch of light. As you approach, you realize it is a distant open star cluster, drifting alone in the galactic field. The cluster is not dense. Its stars are scattered loosely, but they share a common origin. Many are young, glowing blue-white, while others are older, orange, steady, calm. You drift into the cluster's outskirts, where the gravitational pull is soft but noticeable. Stars drift in gentle arcs, tracing paths they've followed since their birth. Closer to the center, the stars become more concentrated. They shine brightly, their combined light creating a warm, inviting glow. You feel the sense of community here. Thousands of stars born together, bound gently by gravity, slowly aging as a family across millions of years. You leave the cluster through its far side, and the stars thin once again. The galaxy feels quieter, but not empty. Far ahead, a faint red glow flickers in the dark. As you approach, the glow resolves into a soft web of gas, illuminated by the scattered light of nearby stars. This is a dying supernova remnant, one much older and fainter than the ones you have seen before. Its shape is subtle, nearly erased by time. A thin, delicate shell of gas expanding into the vastness. You hover near its fragile edges. The gas glows, faintly pink, purple, and gold. The shapes are wispy, like threads unraveling slowly across an unseen loom. Inside the old remnant, you sense the quiet presence of a lonely neutron star, drifting with almost no motion. It pulses once every few seconds, sending out soft beams of radiation that sweep through the darkness like the slow, steady beam of a lighthouse. The pulse is soothing, rhythmic, reliable, a cosmic heartbeat echoing across the void. Leaving the remnant behind, you drift toward a darker patch of space. The stars here are few, but their scarcity creates a deep sense of calm. Everything moves slowly. Light takes longer to reach you. Space feels broader, more open, almost like a wide plain under a moonlit sky. Then, far in the distance, a soft glow begins to bloom, a faint golden haze that expands as you approach. It is the far outer edge of a massive spiral arm, illuminated by the combined light of millions of stars. But this glow is gentle, not intense. It seeps into the darkness like the first hint of dawn. You glide toward it, feeling the transition from emptiness into richness. The stars gradually grow more numerous, their light overlapping into soft gradients. Dust lanes appear in delicate streaks, thin rivers of shadow weaving through the starlight. As you draw nearer, you realize you are approaching a region of the galaxy where star formation once flourished but has now slowed. The remnants of past activity remain: dim nebulae, scattered star clusters, long depleted clouds. But the region has matured. It feels like a landscape that has lived through many seasons and now rests peacefully under a gentle shining sky. You drift past a faded nebula whose colors have long dimmed. Its gas is thin, stretched out, illuminated only faintly by nearby stars. The once vibrant reds and blues have softened into pastel tones, barely visible. The nebula resembles a watercolor painting left in the sun, its edges blurred, its colors faded into subtle memory. A little farther on, you pass a cluster of old orange stars drifting quietly together. Many of these stars have expanded into giants, nearing the last stable phase of their lives. Their light is warm, soothing, soft. Around some of them, thin shells of gas glow faintly, early signs of planetary nebulae beginning to form. One such giant star catches your attention. Its surface ripples gently, glowing with deep orange and gold tones. The outer atmosphere is beginning to drift outward, creating a delicate halo that glimmers under the surrounding starlight. It is a star approaching its final, beautiful transformation. You drift slowly around it, watching the halo shimmer like thin silk floating in a breeze. A sense of tranquility fills the space. Even in its final stages, the star's light is calm, peaceful, unhurried. Leaving the giant behind, you enter a region where the stars thin briefly again, but ahead, the outline of a large structure appears, a group of loosely connected clusters forming a stellar association. Unlike tight clusters, these groups spread over wide stretches, but their stars share similar ages and compositions. They are the remnants of massive star-forming events that occurred long ago. Inside this association, you find a mix of bright and faint stars, some young, some already evolving into giants, some still surrounded by the remains of the clouds they formed from. The association resembles a vast cosmic orchard, stars growing, aging, drifting apart slowly, guided by the galaxy's tides. You pass one young, bright star whose disk of dust remains thick and well-defined. Within that disk, small planetary embryos orbit, faint shadows in the dust, sculpting paths as they grow. Someday, this star may host a vibrant, dynamic planetary system, but for now, it rests in early adolescence, its future only beginning to unfold. As you leave the association's far edge, the galaxy opens once more into a calmer, broader expanse. You see faint arches of starlight from nearby spiral arms, distant and soft. Ahead lies a quieter region filled with diffuse light, preparing you for your final descent into the deeper galactic night. The stars around you glow steadily, like candles lining a quiet pathway. The vastness seems to breathe with you, its rhythm slow and gentle, and as you drift toward that peaceful expanse, you sense that the journey is nearing its final chapter, a chapter deeper, softer, and more serene than any before. As you drift farther into the outskirts of the spiral arm, the Milky Way begins to soften around you. Everything that once felt structured and patterned, the clusters, the nebulae, the star-forming networks, now melts into a gentle haze. The glow becomes thinner, the colors turn muted, and the stars stretch farther apart, each one isolated like a lone lantern across a quiet, endless field. You glide through this quiet space slowly, as if the galaxy itself is whispering for you to rest. The darkness is thicker here, not threatening, not cold, but peaceful in a way that invites your breathing to slow down, your thoughts to loosen, your body to sink into the stillness. Far ahead, a faint shimmer appears, like frost catching moonlight. As you approach, you realize it is a reflection nebula, one of the most delicate forms of cosmic beauty. It doesn't shine on its own. Instead, it reflects the light of a distant blue star. The dust inside scatters the starlight into soft silvers and pale blues, like moonlight drifting through sea fog. You float gently around the nebula. Its filaments twist and curl in slow, graceful motions, shaped by invisible currents of gas. Nothing here is loud, nothing moves sharply. Even the star whose light creates this glow shines with a calm, steady pulse. It watches over the nebula like a guardian lamp glowing in a vast, empty temple. As you leave the reflection nebula behind, a small cluster of bright stars comes into view, compact, shimmering and quiet. They are young, barely formed, glowing in shades of cold blue. But unlike earlier clusters filled with movement and storms, these stars sit peacefully, surrounded by the last wisps of the cloud that created them. They give off a light that feels cool and serene. A few of these stars still have small disks of dust around them. One disk glows faintly, with tiny arcs carved through it, early signs of planets taking shape. They are not visible, but you can sense them forming silently inside the dust, collecting, growing, following the ancient blueprint that has shaped worlds across billions of years. You drift outward again, moving away from the cluster until its combined light fades into a soft blue haze. The stars around you thin once more, spreading out into long stretches of darkness. Here, the Milky Way begins transitioning into its outermost layers, regions where star formation has slowed, gas has dissipated, and only the oldest, most patient stars remain. These ancient stars shine in deep ambers and burnt gold colors. Their light is soft, warm, and steady, like embers glowing quietly in a fireplace long after the fire has settled. You move among them like a traveler in an ancient hall, illuminated by lanterns left behind by those who came before. Many of these old stars orbit the galaxy in wide, slow paths. Their journeys take hundreds of millions of years to complete, yet they move with perfect grace. They do not rush, they do not drift aimlessly. They simply follow their paths, shaped long ago during the galaxy's earliest days. Drifting further outward, you begin to see larger structures forming, not clusters, not arms, but something older and more fundamental. The halo of the galaxy emerges around you. It is vast, nearly invisible, composed of ancient stars, orphaned remnants of swallowed galaxies, and mysterious dark matter that cannot be seen but subtly shapes everything. The stars in the halo are rare and widely spaced. Some shine with faint red hues, others flicker in soft whites. Many are so old that they formed when the universe was still young and cooling. Their atmospheres contain almost no heavy elements, clear signs they were born before most of the things we know today even existed. They drift like solitary monks traveling through a silent monastery, far from the bright, bustling regions of the galaxy. Being among them feels like standing on a quiet mountain ledge at night, breathing cold air, watching the world spread endlessly beneath you. You move deeper into the halo, and the familiar glow of the Milky Way's disk begins to fade behind you. The bright lanes, the star clusters, the nebulae, they become distant, muted, like memories of a long, beautiful journey. Ahead, the dark stretches wider, filled only with faint points of light and gentle cosmic winds. Slowly, a massive dim structure becomes visible, a globular cluster. These clusters are some of the oldest living things in the galaxy. This one glows faintly in warm golden tones. Millions of ancient stars crowd together so tightly that from afar, the cluster looks like a single shimmering sphere. As you drift closer, the stars resolve into individual points, dense, bright, orderly. They orbit the core of the cluster with astonishing precision, following paths they have maintained for over 10 billion years. Time does not seem to touch them. Their orbits continue like ancient dances performed without interruption. You glide through the outer region of the cluster. The stars move slowly around you like fireflies circling in an eternal twilight. The deeper you drift, the denser the stars become, until you feel as though you are floating in a chandelier of ancient lights, suspended in perfect stillness. But you do not enter the cluster's core, where density becomes overwhelming. Instead, you gently follow its curvature around to the far side. As you exit, the stars thin dramatically. The cluster recedes behind you, returning to a soft golden sphere in the distance. Now the galaxy is nearly gone from view, hidden behind you like a glowing memory. Ahead lies the deepest part of the outer halo, vast, silent, and almost entirely dark. Only scattered ancient stars remain, drifting with the patience of ages. Space here feels different, lighter, colder, more open. It feels like the universe is breathing more slowly, taking long, quiet pauses. As you drift farther, another faint glow appears, not from a cluster, not from a nebula, but from a single star. It is a red giant nearing the end of its long life. Its light is warm but dimming, like a candle burning low. A thin, expanding veil of gas surrounds it, hinting at the planetary nebula it will one day become. You linger there for a moment, watching the peaceful last breaths of a star that has existed since long before the Earth was born. Its surface ripples slowly, sending soft waves of light outward, each one carrying the memory of everything it has lived through. The star does not explode in a dramatic flare. It simply glows, breathes, and continues aging with grace. You leave it gently, drifting into a darkness so deep that the last of the halo stars fade behind you. The Milky Way itself becomes a distant glow, an enormous soft oval of silver light floating in the cosmic night. You have reached to the very edge of the galaxy. Here, nothing crowds your view. No dust clouds hang in the way. No bright clusters pull your attention. You float in open, flawless darkness with the entire Milky Way shining behind you. Every star, every nebula, every cluster, every world, all merged into one breathtaking, shimmering band of light. The galaxy looks peaceful from here, quiet, balanced, a slow-turning wheel of stars drifting through the universe. Its spiral arms glow faintly, curling like gentle brushstrokes painted across deep black canvas. You see the glowing core at the center, bright yet soft, wrapped in layers of warm golden light. You breathe slowly in, deeply, watching the galaxy turn. You drift weightlessly, suspended in calmness so pure that everything inside you loosens, worries, noise, tension, all dissolving like mist in sunlight. The stars continue their endless motions. The galaxy continues its grand rotation, and you float there, unhurried, resting at the edge of everything. If you listen closely, the silence itself feels like a lullaby, a slow, soothing rhythm woven into the fabric of space. It comforts you, steadies you, and guides you towards sleep. There is nothing to do, nowhere to be, only the soft glow of the Milky Way, the gentle breath of the universe, and the calm that fills every corner of the cosmic night. Your journey through the galaxy, through light and darkness, through creation and quiet, settles into a peaceful end. You drift into the cosmic stillness, embraced by the vastness, wrapped in serenity, and welcomed into rest. The galaxy glows behind you. The stars breathe around you, and slowly, softly, gently, your mind settles into silence.